はい、
あ、
チ
はい。
コさん、自己紹介、どうぞ。
はい。はじめまして。チコです。よろしくお願いします。アメリカのロサンゼルス出身です。犬一匹飼ってます。はい。
はい。ワンちゃんかわ
な、
いい。
名前はピーナッツです。パムレニ
ピ
アン。
ーナッツ。ピ
はい。
ーナッツちゃん。はい。
仕事はソフトウェアエンジニアです。日本語、アーケードゲームが大好きです。特にレーズンゲーム好きです。マイマイ、グループコースター、タイコ、はい。それから銃も大好きです。ミリガンが一番好きです。それから最近 3D プリンターをやってます。これ使いました。はい、見てみて。
すごい。3D プリンターで。ピカ
はい、
チュウ
イビ、
イー
イビ。
ビー。すご
はい。
い。
来年、日本語、必修体です。
うん。
頑張ります。
はい。頑張ります。ありがとうございます、チコさん。
ありがとうございます。
Well done. Amazing, amazing. Right. Good job, チコさん。
はい。
Right. So, first of all, congratulations on your success on the self-introduction here on the YouTube. How do you feel, チコさん？
Accomplished. So when I first started, I was so nervous because like I didn't know any Japanese, but
う
now like
ん。
I still feel beginner-ish,
う
but I
ん。
feel a lot better now. Like thank you. I understand. So I understand it's still a business strategy, but I still thank you for this. Through Shunsuke-san was very nice, very professional.
う
And basically
ん。
just going through the entire motions though. So as much as I want to continue the course, though, your course does dictate it's not going to go through the N at the N language N5 and 4A3. That's my next course as far as my advancement essentially though. So that's what I'm actually yeah. So I actually started studying the N5 on my own at that point though.
う
Um,
ん。
Also, I don't know if you've been told this, but Shunsuke Gon actually, I had a talk with him, and he's actually convinced me to try to go to try to teach English to Japan to try to get in Japan. I applied to JET, so let's see where that goes. But either way, though, like I already said to him and everybody, I'm gonna get in Japan eventually. It's just a matter of when,
Oh,
essentially.
wow. That's amazing. Right. So you have actual goal, like you want to move to Japan even. That's
Yeah, my
amazing.
best.
It's 2025. There are a thousand of ways to learn Japanese. Some people actually study with Duolingo. Some people study with the bot, like chatbot, like ChatGPT or other application. And also some people goes to very traditional way, like textbook study. But over the thousand of choices, why you chose Japan Language Factory at this year, especially?
Well, essentially, like, so ever since I was, I learned about Japan when I was a kid, like, I always had a
Mm,
love for Japan in general. So
mm,
obviously, different country means different language means like that's essentially, um, I love the Japanese language, but first and foremost, I want to see Japan, be Japan, live Japan. So that was one of my goals in life. So essentially, learning the Japanese language is utmost importance to achieve that goal.
mm,
As far as actually choosing Japanese language factory versus all the others, so I actually was looking around my local area, for example, but classes did not start until January, and I was already
mm,
in March by the time I was looking at it. So I was like, well, I can't wait. Like I don't want to wait. So I just started looking around, and I found the Japanese language factory.
mm.
So I took a shot, and here we are. So arigatou
Amazing.
gozaimasu.
素晴らしい. Well done, Chiko-san. And then you said you already like Japan since you were a child. And right now you have actually really goal to move to Japan. So what do you think for anyone actually like Japan like you since you're a child, but also kind of difficult to get started learning language, especially learning
So
Japanese? So, how did you actually decide to start learning this difficult language?
So here's the thing, though. I consider myself kind of an edge case because majority of people who want to go to Japan, anime. I
Mm,
actually don't like anime that much. So when I was 3 years old, I got into computers, and then I
mm,
learned all computers. Essentially, though, the best tech sections were America and Japan. So effectively, that's why I was going for Japan is because even though the tech structure is great in America, but especially Sony, Toyota, and all the Toshiba, all these other companies, they're powerhouses in Japan. So I want to be part of that effectively because I do think that Japan is going to rise again when it comes to the powerhouse in the technology sector. So that's my love of why I want to get Japan. Essentially, is the tech sector effectively. And well, I do watch some anime, so that's a plus. But tech is my first
Mm.
love.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Even though, people like, maybe technology, even some people like tradition and also anime or any other things. And it's difficult to learn a new language. I mean, difficult to learn Japanese. So, how did you actually push yourself to really get started? Because when you're working every day, you feel like, okay, I'm working, so you want to postpone. It's difficult to dedicate to study. So, how did you push yourself?
So I've actually started trying to apply for Japan since I graduated college. But of course, I didn't know any Japanese and I didn't know how to get in. So my first thought was to get into Japan through the U.S. side and try to apply to U.S. companies, but there are not many of them. But just of course, your first goal of university after university is get any job because you want
Mm-hmm.
income at all. So yes, I threw in Japan, but I applied to other things in the U.S. side because I want money. But if
Mm.
once you got your job and you got the money, it's like, well, now I want to go to Japan. So I would say around 5 years after getting established in my career, it's like, okay, now I can focus on Japan because now I have a steady income. And essentially, there's a thing where if I move to a different country and I have no money, well, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if I go to Japan and have some money. So the worst case scenario is if I go to Japan and hate it, I have some money to exit, essentially. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been told many times the difference between work Japan and vacation Japan. I've been in Japan 7 times. Love it after 7 times, but like again, that was all vacation. But yeah, like if I go to Japan and I hate it, at least I could say I tried. That's the worst thing. You said it yourself, where we only have one life. Go for it. It'd be worse to say I never done it versus hey, I tried it, didn't like it. Hey, at least I tried because
Mm.
I have a 10 years experience in my as an engineer, so I can always jump back to the US if I absolutely have to. But I already said I'm going to retire in Japan anyway, so why not?
That's right, exactly. You don't want to regret because you just didn't do before, or you actually did it. And if you didn't like it, of course, you just can come back to home anytime. Yeah,
I,
amazing. Right. So, please give us a one advice for people who actually really are thinking of going to Japan this year or next year for the first time because you already have been to Japan so many times and also you're planning. So, what we need to start today?
I mean, the people who want to go to Japan, who got the especially the biggest entry is anime. Keep an open mind. That's my biggest advice when you want to go to Japan. And it's just like Japan's just not anime. You're in for a big culture shock if you go to Japan with just the anime mindset. It's still a beautiful, wonderful country, but it's not anime. But essentially, I love how Japan's so modernized to the point where like it's gotten very easy for people to go in. We have Google Translate. There's like thanks to the Olympics, like there's English everywhere in the Tokyo and Osaka and Kyoto areas though. And essentially, as a tourist, you're going to go to those 3 spots, almost guaranteed. As a fish first stop, that's inevitable. So just enjoy Japan, but keep an open mind. That's my 2 cents essentially.
That's good advice, Chico-san. Thank you so much.
はい、
Well
ありがとうござい
done.
ます。うん
ありがとうございます。